Hello students, welcome back to subject Network and Cyber Security, presenting by Manjunatha Iyer, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, CEC Mangalore. So this video lecture, I am going to discuss about the Module 3, its IP security. So this video lecture, I am going to cover about applications of IP security in detail, I mean architecture of the IP security, how to implement the IP security, what are the protocols are involved, and the key management. Okay, complete the structure of architecture of IP security. IP security uses, what are the benefits we can take out from the IP security? Routing applications, documents is nothing but the RFC or the protocol or rules are involved for IP security. Services of IP security. Okay, services are enabled by the IP security. So let us start with applications of IP security. The first application is a secure branch office connectivity over the internet. A company can build a secure virtual private network over the internet or over a public WAN, wide area network. This enables a business to rely heavily on the internet and reduce its need for private networks, saving costs and network management overhead. Second, applications of IP security. Okay, introducing IP security. The applications, the second application is secure remote access over the internet. Would like security implemented by the network for all applications. So in detail, okay, so what is meaning to point 2 is an end user whose system is equipped with IP security protocols can make a local call to an internet service provider, so that is nothing but ISP, and gain secure access to company network. This reduces the cost of toll charges for traveling employees and telecomputers. The third applications of IP security, establishing extranet and intranet connectivity with partners. Okay, so in detail, IP security can be used to secure communication with other organizations, ensuring authentication and confidentiality and providing a key exchange mechanism. Okay, so when we want to communicate with the one organization with another organization, authentication is very important, where it is possible by providing key exchange mechanism. Okay, key need to be exchanged between the one organization with the another organization, or one network with the another network. Fourth, applications of IP security, enhancing electronic commerce security. So meaning is, even though some web and electronic commerce applications have built-in security protocols, the use of IP security enhances that security. IP security guarantees that all traffic designed by the network administrator is both encrypted and authenticated, adding an additional layer of security to whatever is provided at the application layer. So nowadays some web and electronic commerce applications have built-in security protocols. Okay, built-in security protocols, they are going to provide the security by security providing in applications layer. So let us move on to the IP security architecture. The complete model 3 can be if you want to see in architecture how the IP security will be built. So I am going to explain about the architecture of IP security. So there is a IP security, in order to implement it. So this can be implemented in two different ways, or two different protocol I can say. So one is ESP protocol. ESP stands for encapsulated security payload. Okay, payload is here the data, actual data that we need to send. Encapsulated security payload protocol. And another protocol can be implemented for IP security is AH protocol, authentication header protocol. Okay, so these are the two possible protocols we can implement for IP security. So ESP protocol is for is meant for encryption algorithm, or we can use encryptions algorithm. We know why we'll go for encryption, right? So whenever we need to change from plain text to the ciphertext, cryptography, so we'll go for encryption. The data format is going to change to the ciphertext. So that is what exactly we'll do under ESP protocol. ESP is meant for cryptography or encryption. So authentications protocol is implemented for authentication by using authentication algorithm. So in encryptions algorithm, we can encrypt the data in two different ways, like asymmetric and symmetric encryptions. And here the authentication algorithms we are by using some algorithms, just we are going to authenticate that data is coming from the authenticated person or not. So here in the authentication, we are just verifying the signature of the sender at the receiver side. So sender, when he is sending a data, is just adding his signature, and that signature will be verified by the receiver. So that is what the authentication meaning. So there are many algorithms supported for authentications. We can use some algorithms, specific algorithm to perform the authentication. So authentication header protocol is able to achieve authentication as well as integrity. So wherein encryptions, by the encryptions we are able to achieve the confidentiality. We are maintaining confidentiality over the data. In authentications, we are achieving authentication as well as integrity. So next, DOI, domain of interpretation. Here it's identifying the supported protocol. Identify both the protocols, ESP protocol and AH protocol. The last one in the architecture of IP security is key management. So whether we perform ESP protocol or we'll go for AH protocol, the key need to be exchanged between the sender and receiver. It may be a public key or it may be a secret key. So in symmetric encryptions, a similar key or a symmetric key are need to be used by the sender and the receiver. The same symmetric key or similar key need to be shared by the sender with the receiver. In asymmetric, public key will be shared by the sender with the receiver. So in order to decrypt the message, or in order to maintain the confidentiality or authentication. So the overall model 3 can be if you want to see in a detailed architecture, this is how the architecture of the IP security, how we can implement it. So next, as move on to the other topic, IP security uses. So an organization maintains local area network at different locations. Non-secure IP traffic is conducted on each local area network because it is within the organization. Okay, the systems are placed in a different location. The data is being exchanged between the one computer is another computer is within the organization. So for a traffic offsite through some sort of private or public wide area network, wide area network, IP security protocols are used. So means when we are sending a data out of the organization or out of the network, so we have it's very essential to follow the IP security, because we are sending a data out of the network or out of the organization. So over a network, in order to send the data out of the organization or a network, we have to use internet. We have to take help of internet. So here the data security is very important. These protocols, IP protocols, operate in networking devices such as routers or firewall that connect each local area network to the outside world. So in wireless mode, wireless communications, routers are placed, and data will be connected from one router to the another router, and those routers should be authenticated, and the firewall, each firewall, the trusted router act as a firewall. So it will not accept the data which is coming from the non-authenticated person. So the IP security networking device will typically encrypt and compress all traffic going into the wireless wide area network, and decrypt and decompress traffic coming from the wide area network. These operations are transparent to workstations and servers on the local area network. So the data is coming through the wireless communication, so that may be a wide area network. Here typically we need to monitor the data. So the firewall is necessary, and avoiding unnecessary or the data is coming from the intruder or unauthorized person is very important. So once we receive the data from the wireless communication through wide area network, that data will be transmitted to the many computers which are connected to the local area network. So secure transmission is very important. Secure transmission is also possible with individual users who dial into the wide area network. Such user workstations must implement the IP security protocol to provide the security. So those systems which are connected to the wide area network, so it is very important to come up with the IP security service. But within the organization it is not so important, because all the computers, they are connected with the local area network, and we can easily track the data is transmitting from which computer to the to which computers we are sending. We can track the sender and the receiver location. So now let's move on to this picture now for more understanding about the IP security uses. Now see the one second. There is a IP security uses. Assume that there is a computer. So from this user computer which is having IP security, we are transmitting to other computers. This is main, the sender, and this sender we are transmitting data to the other computers, or this computer is connected to the other computers, two computers, or two more computers here, and this is a one more computer. So when the data need to be shared between these two computers, let's assume that for a time being this is a sender computer, need to be share the data with the other computers, whether through the LAN or wide area network. The IP security is very important. So it will send the data. Like IP header, IP security header. This is what the original IP header. This is IP security header and secure IP payload. What is IP payload? So payload is nothing but the actual data that we need to transfer. So now let us assume that this maybe we are sending this data over whether through the internet or private network. So when I say the private network, so it is a local area network through the internet. So it may be a wide area network. So now, so this is reached at the receiver side. So at the receiver side, this data will be transmitted to the several computers, and each computers are connected by the local area network. Let us assume that. So once the data is received by the wide area network, the same data we are going to receive it. IP header, IP security header, secure IP payload, actual data. It will first reached by networking device with IP security. Networking device with IP security. The intention is here, so it is going to identify the IP security header. So it will identify this IP security header. So the actual data which is sent by the networking device with IP security is, now it is only two parameters or two fields. There is no IP security header. In previous here, so that IP security header is identified by this device. So this will be given to the Ethernet switch. Then through the Ethernet switch, the data will be given to the transmitted to the computer. The same thing is in another side. The data, actual data is sent by the sender is having three fields. It will reach the networking device with IP security. Then it will be identified, this IP security header will be identified. Then two pair fields will be left. It will move on to the Ethernet switch. So in the Ethernet switch, so Ethernet is nothing but it allows the data transmitted within the organization through the LAN. So which is connected, more two computers are connected through the LAN. So Ethernet is intra communication. Internet is intercommunication. So out of the organization. So now this is okay transmitted to this system as well as okay this system. So by using IP security, this is what the okay this is what we are going to achieve. We can achieve the okay security over the payload or the data. So when we are sending the data over wide area network. So then what are the benefits of IP security? Or advantages of okay following IP security? In a firewall or a router provides strong security to all traffic crossing the perimeter. So in wireless communication, okay, so data when it is transmitted, the data will be connected or it will transmitted through the many routers. Okay, so now that each router is act as a firewall. It is not going to accept the okay, the router which is near to the sender or as well as the receiver. It will decide the data type. Okay. So at the sender side, the router will verify that to whom it need to be sent. Okay, data is need to be sent. Obviously, it should be legitimate sender, so receiver, not to the intruder. The router near to the receiver, it will verify the before it is the data is received by the receiver. It will verify the data is coming from the legitimate sender or the actual sender, or the data is coming from the intruder or hacker. So in a firewall or a router, the router acts as a firewall, is resistant to bypass IP, and firewall is the only means of entrance from the internet into the organization. So as I mentioned, so data will be verified before the data is given to the organization. So when the data is transmitted or coming from the internet. So IP security is placed below the transport layer. Okay, TCP, transport control layer, or UDP, user datagram protocol. Hence the transparent means hence the IP security is transparent to the applications. So IP security can be transparent to the end users. Okay, even it is transparent to the end users. The end users can see the IP security settings. So IP security can provide security for individual users if needed. So individual users, he can configure, it is going to provide the security. He can take the security of the IP security. So IP security secures the routing architecture. So as I told you that, so IP security is the data is connected from the routers, right? So the proper architecture, it follows the proper routing architecture. So routing applications in a wide area network will take a help of routers to transfer the data. Okay, so in addition to supporting end users and protecting premises systems and networks, IP security can play a vital role in the routing architecture. The routing architecture is required for internetworking. The following examples of the use of IP security. So IP security can assure that a router advertisement, so a new router advertises its presence comes from an authorized router. Okay, the many routers will be available in the wireless network, and each router need to be advertised, and which is coming from the authorized router. A neighbor advertisement. A router seeks to establish or maintain a neighbor relationship with a router in another routing domain. Comes from an authorized router. So the many routers are available, and trusting the neighbor router is very important. So again, so we need to trust the neighbor router, which is the trusted, or which is authorized router. A redirect message comes from the router to which the initial IP packet was sent. So first the sender will send the message, will release the message to the first router, which is placed just before the sender, or the nearest the router which is present so near to the sender. So then that data will be transmitted from one router to the another router, the neighbor router, so which is authorized router. So we should not hand over the data to the unauthorized router. So unauthorized router, if you are transmitting the data, so the possibilities of the data will be stolen by the hacker. A routing update is not forced. The forgery of the updation of router is not possible. Forgery is not possible. IP security architecture or IP security document. So document is nothing but RFC. Set of rules are documented in some protocol. So RFC is nothing but request for comment. All the rules are protocols is maintaining in one particular document. IP security encompasses three functional areas. We have know that already. It's authentication, confidentiality, and key management. The whole IP security architecture is stand by these three things: authentication, confidentiality, and the key management. The document can be categorized into the following groups. Specification is quite complex with the groups. First, the architecture covers the general concept, security requirements, definitions and mechanisms defining IP technology. The current specification of request for comment RFC is 4301, security architecture for the internet protocol. The architecture is based on RFC 4301. It's a security architecture for internet protocol, IP protocol, IP security. Then authentication header, in short form we say it is AH. AH is an extension header to provide the message authentication. The current specification is RFC 4302. RFC 4302 IP, it is for authentication header. So it is included in IP security version 3, IP security version 3 for backward compatibility, but should not be used in new applications. We do not discuss authentication header in this chapter. So as I mentioned, there are two protocols, mainly ESP protocol and AH protocol. But in this chapter or in this module, we are not going to discuss about the authentication header. It's like the optional. If you want, we can use the authentication for payload. And the document it refers is RFC 4302. Then another protocol, ESP protocol, encapsulating security payload. So ESP consists of an encapsulating header and the trailer used to provide the encryption or combined encryption and authentication or authentication. The current specification for ESP is RFC 4303. IP encapsulating security payload. RFC, AH, it is for it refers RFC 4302. ESP protocol, it refers to referred by RFC 4303. So ESP, as I mentioned in the second point, authentication is optional. If authentication is if you want to maintain any encapsulation, we can add it. And in encapsulating security payload, mainly we perform encryption in order to maintain the confidentiality. But also if you want to maintain the authentication, so we can add the authentication in the encapsulation. That is optional for ESP. ESP can be implemented in two different ways, only for confidentiality or confidentiality with authentication. Then the key management, internet key management. So as I mentioned, the key need to be shared between the sender and receiver in order to encrypt and the decrypt. The key should be shared only between the trusted sender and the receiver, not with the intruder. So this is a collection of documents describing key management schemes for use with IP security. The main specification is referred by RFC 4306. It's an internet key exchange. Internet key exchange, IKE version 2 protocol. Cryptographic algorithm, and the other cryptographic algorithms, like for asymmetric and symmetric algorithms, many algorithms are available. Say for example, RSA algorithm, DES algorithm, and many algorithms, a triple DS algorithm, many algorithms are available. And for others, and other purpose, like there are variety of other IP security related RFCs are included, those dealing with security policy and management information base content. So this is what related to the IP security document. Last content for this video lecture is IP security services. Services that are provided by IP security. IP security provides the security at the IP layer by establishing a system to select a required security protocol. Two protocols are used to provide the security. So we know that those two protocols, ESP protocol, that is for encryption or confidentiality, and authentication protocol, so that is for authentication. RFC 4301 lists the following services. So one is access control. So it has to deny the gain or access of data by the intruder or a hacker. Data is only accessed by the legitimate receiver. Connectionless integrity. So integrity, we know that the data modification is we need to avoid the data modification before the data is released to the receiver. The data modification by the hacker. Data modification is by the hacker. Once the actual data is sent by the sender, the same data should be sent, delivered to the receiver, not after the modification by the hacker. Data origin authentication. So origin is the sender, and authentication, so just by adding signature of the sender. So it provides the provisions or services for the sender to add his signature. The receiver will verify the sender signature for authentication. Rejection of replayed packets, a form of partial sequence integrity. So we know that the data will be sent as a data packets, several packets, and the receiver is going to collect all the data packets and they will arrange all the data packets according to the sequence number. So actual data packet is delivered to the receiver, but the same data packet is received by the hacker and he will modify it, and the modified data packet will be sent to the receiver. So that is what it is going to interrupt the integrity. So in that scenarios, the receiver he should deny that, or he should refuse to access such data packets. Those packets which are modified by the hacker. So what is the reply of the receiver? So you need to stop receiving such data packets. So those packets which are after modified by the hacker. That is what the form of partial sequence integrity. So you need to reject those data packets. Reject in the sense you should not ready to accept the those data packets. So confidentiality, yes, it is for encryption. Because only the sender should know what he is sending, and the receiver also he should know what is going to receive. That is only possible by encryption. And the limited traffic flow confidentiality. So traffic is nothing but the data flow. Data flow confidentiality. So these are all the services of or services enabled by the IP security. So next in video lecture we will start with a different topic. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you very much. The summary of this particular video lecture is, we have come across applications of IP security architecture, uses of IP security with the block diagram, the benefits that we can take out from the IP security, the routers, like authorized routers, how to trust it and how the routers will be advertised. IP security architecture is nothing but IP security documents, the rules that are involved for authentication protocol, and the ESP protocol and key management and encryptions and all, and the services provided by the IP security. Any queries related to the video, so you can drop your query in the comment section, so that I am able to clear your queries or doubts. Thank you for watching this video.